In composing, should you go and meet more people every day? Hello there, my name is Ilis Lyukkanen. I'm a composer from Finland. I have done this composing stuff for a long time. But big thing nobody told me was that connections are important. And of course they are. We live in a society where we rely on each other. I cannot just be in a big void and just be a composer that everyone admires. No, you need to go there, meet people, help each other out, and then you can become big. I bet you not. Big composers you admire, they know a lot of people. They know people that can advertise them. They know people that can pay them money to make music. Oh man, you don't even know. And I tell you, this is important. Usually we composers, at least the ones who start out, we work alone. We're just like, hey, I just want to do this. I sit in front of a computer, I just put music out there, and that's about it. And then I just spread it around the internet and hope it goes all around. But that's not how it works. Usually when you do it with that kind of strategy, the song just disappears to the void. As so many composers do that in that way, you are not able to branch out. You're not able to reach the people you want. Because of course, when you are just alone, your voice is small. You have to think it like that. That's how internet works. And if you know more people, if you know even one influential people, you can just explode in popularity. I tell you, that is how it works. And that is why so many of you just should go to events, should meet people. Of course, it's not that simple. Nothing is simple in this life. We composers, usually the ones that are really interested about the art, of course there are exceptions, but most of composers are very introverted people. They are shy, they are not able to branch out that well if you just throw them in a big hall that have a lot of people. And I tell you, even if you are a composer that realizes, hey, I need to go out there, make contacts, it's still a big struggle for you, for first timer, to really start getting your foot between the door so you have open opportunities. You're not able to get into projects if you don't go to events and meet people. But you are not able to get projects either if you cannot express who you are, if you cannot make an effect to people that you meet. For me, it has been the biggest and the most effective way of just going to people, introduce myself, and really make them to see that, hey, I'm a composer up for the job. Usually composers, when it looks and goes to projects, the ones I've seen that are able to make the most out of what they do, it's not connected to music per se, but just how they say they are. Let me give an example. Many people that I've worked with, I ask feedback after each project. Just, hey, did you like what I did? What kind of things I could have done better? And such and such and such. And the most feedback I get is that I've been very easy to work with. And you don't know how important that is. Some people have egos that they are not able to get over. Egos that hurt their working experience with others, because big egos usually clash with other ones. Big egos can be a good benefit when you have a personality and want to introduce yourself to other people. If you are an entertainer, good ego, at least a surface level ego, is very good. But if you want to work with people, that is going to be a big kind of thing in front of that, and keeping other people away from you. That is why I tell you, egos and such, they are not very good with working and getting to know many people. And some composers that are not able to see themselves outside their own perception. If they are not able to see that, hey, perhaps I talk with this kind of way that gets people annoyed about me, or if I just talk too much about myself, or if I do not just talk about anything about myself, I'm not able to make an impression. That's, I cannot stress how big thing that is. Usually people do not tell this. Usually people tell that, hey, you just need to meet the right people. Does that even mean anything? Like, you cannot affect on what people you meet. Of course, it depends where you go, but you cannot just, okay, I want to meet these people, you just like handpick them or stuff like that. If you are rich, perhaps that's when you can do that, but I bet most people who watch this are not rich and just cannot make their own events and such. The big thing you can have an effect to is how you represent yourself, and I cannot force this point even more because it's important. So many people overlook it. So many people think, oh, it's the music, people didn't like my music, or hey, it was just the wrong kind of people I met. No. If you're able to make an impression, let's say if you meet someone, like if you meet a crowd of people and you're able to stand out from that crowd with your personality and with your easy to work attitude, then you're able to get projects. I tell you. So many of people you are going to work with might have not had experience working with musicians and composers. Because I tell you, the biggest factor is in getting to projects is also that, you're able to convince that, hey, I'm able to make music that people themselves really want. Of course, you can do your personal music, you can do music that you like yourself, and some people might approach to you, in very rare cases, to say, hey, I want music that you can do and you enjoy doing. But most of the time, people are looking for specific music. And do not let this intimidate you, because you can also, of course, make music that you enjoy making and that other one you are making it too also enjoys as well. But getting a message across when you meet people in these events, getting a message that, hey, I'm able to do music that you enjoy and work on that, it is very viable, very, very important. You might think this is more like the strategizing than actually making music, but I tell you, if you are able to make this work, you are able to live very well. My big problem is that I live in Finland. I'm not going to move out to America in places where there could be more opportunities for you people. If you live in, let's say, in like Sweden or Germany or Indonesia, and any of these places that might have a lot of people, like more people than in Finland, Finland, a small nation, you are able to get the project. I tell you, you have more to choose from. Of course, in time of internet, you can do this also in internet, but I tell you, face-to-face conversation, face-to-face time with anyone, it has most biggest effect. When we are online, we can't really connect with each other too much. Except with perhaps face camera, that's a way to do it. But usually we are very distant to each other. I'm not sure who's watching this video right now. I don't know you. That's the kind of like the downside of internet. I'm a personal guy. I'm very into meeting people and knowing who they are. But sitting in front of the camera, I can tell who's watching, and that freaks me out sometimes. But the most biggest thing you can have is building relationship and going to events to working relationship, of course, is that you can see who you're working with, and that is the best way to make an effective communication and a collaboration, or even getting into projects. That is why, of course, some events that have a high-class people in that, game developers and such, perhaps those are even, they cost a lot, because people know how valuable it is to meet people, to just, go to people and say, hey, how nice to meet you, and shake hands. All of that is very valuable. You can't do that online. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be contacting people through their emails and say, hey, can you work on this and that and this and that? But it's a bigger success rate if you meet people in person. Of course, maintain that collaboration with that people. You know, you have to be the one who just contacts them again and again. You have to be the one who keeps the collaboration going. Of course, if that's about you getting paid, it's good to just contact them for in a while and say, hey, did you enjoy the music I did, or do you want this and that and this and that. It's very much up to you, the process of doing this. What makes people very anxious sometimes about this process of being a composer, being someone who tries to form these kind of relationships in work or meet new people, is that you are the one in charge. But I tell you, it's a powerful feeling as well if you are able to make these work. Of course, the first time is the hardest one, but imagine you being the one who just walks to people and saying, hey, I can do this for you and that, and then they see you as this professional composer. It's a big thing. And with representation of yourself, just being and acting the way you can be comfortable just doing the music, I've been able to rise above some good composers, you know, some composers that are very good in specific areas of music, but I tell you, that how you behave, how you meet people and where you meet people, unfortunate how that is, that matters the most nowadays. That matters in music business. You need to go and meet people. You need to search for these events locally where you are near. I myself, when I get more money, I'm going to travel a lot to these events, you know, to America, to Britain, to all the places in EU and such. I'm going to travel because I know the value of these meetups, these people that can actually be the gateways to where I can meet and, you know, get into projects. All your favorite composers at some point in their career met someone that made them able to grow their brand as a composer. Possibly, even if, of course, some events, you know, go unsuccessful, if you just have one person that likes your stuff and that one person gives you a chance, then you're able to make your career work. I tell you, I cannot stress this enough. It's important. But of course, there are other questions like how do I work with them after I meet them and such, and you know, how am I able to make sure that my music, that I'm able to get the music to those people, how I'm able to make sure that this collaboration comes to an end in a positive way, that I get paid, I get fame, and all that such things. And I tell you, of course, we need to talk about that more here in the channel in Eluken, where we discuss about music, making music, where we discuss about composer being in nowadays society, you know, should you make music for free or should you make it something that you're able to get money out of? All that discussion comes from Eluken, and that's what we do. I tell you, with experience of working with this kind of thing for over and over, even if you're a small guy, even if you don't have this kind of YouTube thing I do, even if you don't have hundreds of followers, you are able to rise over people with thousands of followers, with thousands of views, if you meet just the one right people. And I tell you, if you keep watching more Eluken, we're going to be looking into more ways you can make composing something you can make happen and enable you to create more. Thank you for watching, wherever you are, whoever you are. I wish you a great day. I hope we see each other soon.